whatever cliche you want to say, 1 lap out of 6, the fastest lap to the thousandths of a second, locks into the finals and does not have to race through the semis. And in any time at a world championship, if you can not have to race the semis and be locked in, it's great. That's the way to go. And for those of you who wondered, then they don't get much track time, Chris, they get a little bit of practice.
Yeah, they get a practice session tomorrow before we go into semis, so they get to run on a similar track than what your semi-final drivers get to run on, and they get, I think it's a 20-minute practice, so
Correct.
They get a similar amount of track time before they can prepare their car to go into the World Championship final. But I got to say, the Super Pole format is really cool, and there's a very short list of some very talented drivers who I would love to see in a Super Pole shootout, because they drive with the essence of ZFG in the way they drive. And if you don't know what ZFG means, I'm going to paraphrase it here. 0 Fruit Loops given on track. They will give it absolutely everything. They will bin a car if it means they get that lap.
ZFG. All right, that deal. All right, there we go.
We are into Group 8 on track. It says 2, but it's 8. Lamberto Collari, 9-time IFMAR world champion, putting down a 14.6 to be the first driver to show 17 laps so far in his predictive time as we follow him onto the back straight here for the 9-time WC. Across the line and goes backing it up with another 14.6. He leads out from Andrea Pirani, his fellow countryman. Andy Moore, the Brit, goes to 3rd.
This is Lamberto's best start of any of his qualifiers. They have solid 14-second laps from the start. Already 7 laps in, continues this. This is his best pace by far through 5 rounds of qualifying as we begin round number 6.
Further behind, Scott Kimbrough into the 4th spot here. From Mike Swagger just jumping up and battling with Walter Diaz, who shows P5 now. Swagger down to 6. Tanon Seikul Trin with the Infinity car into 7. From Michael Palazzola, Benny Chier, and a bad run here for the young Frenchman Maxime Ripoll, dropping down to P9 as Palazzola goes down to the 10 spot.
Collari that time 15-2. That's his first 15. He had back-to-back 15s there. Takes him from a 4.11 estimated to a 4.13 pace. Still his best run overall. He had a 413.7 in round number 5. Checked that round number 4 yesterday to round out the day, so now he needs to get back on that 14-second pace to be able to get down to back to that 4.11, possibly 4.10. Andy Moore now 14.8, backs it up there with a 14.7 lap. Couple good laps for Andy, moving him up a bit to a 16 flat. Andy needs to get a 17 lap run to kind of give him
He's not had one yet.
A bit of happiness. Right, exactly. He has had just a bunch of 16s and a couple 15s.
Yeah, a couple of 15s aren't going to be good. His best run so far was 22nd in round 2 of qualifying. That was a 16.401. But Andy just dropping off here is on a 16.4 flat point 2. He's split by the Italians of Pirani in second. Collari, of course, your leader. Now not the only one going to 17 laps as Andrea Pirani goes to the 2nd spot. And now Moore jumping up to 2nd, showing 17 laps. The Brit, the former IFMAR world champion, is on a charge here to put in his best run here in the final chance, qualifying round 6.
Andy, one of the nicest guys in the world of racing, always kind and helpful, and just a great guy. Looking for him to have a good result here, maybe to round out his qualifying. Probably going to be deep into the quarterfinals. He's going to have some work to do. Andrea Pirani, 14.8 lap. That lap keeps him on a 17. We pick up Andy Moore on the racetrack. Andy had terrible luck in the seeding round. It's kind of put him behind the 8 ball out of the gate. On the seeding round, absolutely down the straightaway. Car did not turn, just pile drived it into the end of the straightaway there. And what do you say? Binned it, right?
Completely binned it.
Completely binned it.
That was a bin job. He did actually not
bin job.
He did not rebuild a new car.
No, he
took
didn't.
Jesse Davis's spare car and got that prepped up to go racing. I was chatting with the Infinity team after yesterday's proceedings. But with the race finish, Lamberto Collari, a round of applause for the 9-time WC, goes to a 17.413. And your new current round TQ hot lap. And how about that? 14.598 from the Italian. Puts him on top of the board here. Andy Moore picks up his first 17 lapper at the end of qualifying here, goes to 2nd with a 4.14.6. Pirani, the Italian, goes to 3rd, with Kimbrough just missing out on a 17 lapper. He'll go 4th for the round so far with a 16.401. ahead of Mike Swagger going P5 with a 4:02.
Swagger's been struggling a little bit. When I talked to him on Tuesday, he was well under the weather. Didn't look healthy. He's got had some sort of cold. I haven't talked to him since. I tried to stay away, And,
yeah, we can't afford to get sick.
No, not at all.
You and I are flying too much. We can't get sick.
Well, exactly.
I've got a track history of getting sick with Live RC, and I blame it on Brandon Rohde for sitting in the trailer and always sneezing on me with the air conditioning going. I've done well so far. I've been taking 3,000. I'm knocking on wood here. Knocking on wood. Knock on Scotty's head for a bit of luck here. One day to go after this.
You're right. Exactly. So I'm excited. I got 2 weeks off. So I don't have to travel. I got a race back at Trackside Hobbies Raceway in Milwaukee, Wisconsin coming up. Matt Del Judas from the greater Chicagoland area. Matt Del Judas, welcome to the stream here on liverc.com, presented by Infinity. Good to have you. Jorge Diaz, welcome. Yitzi Maidman from the Netherlands is online. Good to have you. Richard Jerman, good to have you. Nick Damon is online. What is up, Mr. Nick Damon? How are you?
That's
good to have you following.
Watching Live RC.
Exactly. Good to have Nick Damon checking us out. Good to have you following along. Welcome to the stream here on liverc.com. The World Championships presented by Infinity on a beautiful sunny Friday morning here. Time we got about 10:30 local California time. We got heat number 3 on the screen coming up, but it is deeper in it. It's Heat 9 as we do a little bit of a rotation.
Yeah, that's a bit confusing there, but I assure you it is Heat 9 on track, and we are getting into it. And some good news as well for those of you who want to watch on YouTube. Our YouTube live stream is apparently back up and running, so you can head on over to liverc.com's page on YouTube if you want to watch that there and join in on the chat as well. So we are back across the triad, the 3 platforms, ifmar.liverc.com, Facebook Live, and on YouTube Live.
They had a problem with the streaming service YouTube did that they weren't able to offer the live service here this morning, but thankfully that's back up and running. Brandon Rohde's online. Hello to Brandon Rohde. Good to have you follow along. Fritz Kaufman. Fritz, one of our good buddies from the ETS family over in Europe. Good to have you follow along, Fritz. Welcome to the party. Paul, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you following along. We're in warm-ups right now of this heat. These guys, we got Robbie Serrato, Flavio Elias from Brazil in this one. Shinosuke Yokiyama in this one. Chavit, Brian Thomas. I've cheered for Brian each and every qualifier.
He's going to get that 17.
I'm not cheering for him this one because I'm just the bad luck, and we're just going to let Brian do his thing out there. Alex Thurston has run strong. Oliver Mack and Rick, they have been absolutely at the top of the heat almost every single run in this one. Tim Wood needs some good luck in this one. And Minya Lupa, formerly of Canada, lived in Shanghai for the last 7 years. Him and his dad moved back to Canada. Said he's glad to be back in Canada, but he misses the Shanghai life.
The Shanghai life. There's some great stuff to do around Shanghai as well.
It's pretty awesome for sure.
Good place to be. We are getting set to go racing here with Group 9 about to head on out and start their run. They'll be pouring into the pit lane to get their final splash on fuel and get them filled to the absolute brim.
Because they need it. It's we've seen many of the guys, especially in the earlier rounds of qualifying, Chris, the guys were running out of fuel. But now, not so much. The guys kind of got the program figured out. They got the tune all dialed in. So not so many guys having fuel issues here in round 5 and as we start into round 6.
No, more people now having traction issues once again. I mean, how could you not... You couldn't believe the story that wrote itself here in round 5. Your leader in the top heat backflipping on power. I've never seen that from a track car.
It was crazy. Just came out of the corner, gripped it and ripping and just brop, just over the top.
Oh, we're taking one of your cliche taglines off there too. Gripping and ripping.
Yeah, just some of the more stupid stuff I say, I know. I don't know, it just happens.
Classic Scotty Ernst. You can't go to a race event without breaking out the classic Scotty Ernst taglines, especially when he's here on the mic. I mean, what better place would you want to be than joining us live online with Live RC's coverage of the IFMAR World Championships with myself, Chris Mitchell, and the legendary Scotty Ernst. We are in Heat 9.
3:15 left to go in this. Rick Valinek out front, 14.9. Good opening laps for him. Oliver Mack with a 14.8. Backed up his opening lap, 15.0. Puts him on a 17 lap, and a lot of 17 laps here at the start. Alex Thurston with a 14.9. Chavit with a 14.9. Shinozuki Yokiyama, 15.1. He's going to need to step it up. Just as I say that, Alex comes back with a 15.2, drops him back. But Oliver Mack, hot lap there on lap 3 out of the gate. 17 lap, 4.13.
Great start to get things off here with that 14.7. He's the only driver out of this heat so far going quicker than Lamberto Collari's predictive time, but he's only doing it to the tune of 1/10 of a second across the full duration of the 4-minute run as we pick up with Rick Vrelink at the moment. Rick coming through the front section of the front kink there. Just the guys behind him getting a little bit messy in that hot race chicane. But Rick out of the Infinity Carousel. Onto the back straight will click off through the speed trap. Pushing the boundaries of 60 miles per hour. But Rick coming through that hot race chicane. Trying to keep on top. Trying to chase down the top time. He gets pushed back down to third here as he was trailing Oliver Mack, your leader, and gets shoved around by Chavit Sadagupta, who goes into the second spot. Vrelink now dropping in his personal best of the race, a 14.899, dropping Chavit down to that 3 spot. Shinosuke Yakiyama goes to the 4. Alex Thurston having a little bit of a worse run here in P5 at the moment, but seems to come good towards the end of the run as I picked him to go 17 laps in round 5. Oh man, on camera, Rick getting caught up with some other cars. That looked awfully close there, and I think that's the pink car of the Brit Capricorn of Thurston getting caught up with him as they came out of the hot race chicane.
This time by, let's see what Rick's got. He's got a 14.8, Mack with a 14.9, Chavit with a 14.8, Shinosuke with a 14.9. We follow Oliver Mack. He's in that kind of bleh looking car is what I call it. It's green, it's a blue, it's blah. Across the start-finish line that time for Mack of 14.9. Keeps him on a 17.4.14, but that drops him off the time from Lamberto Collari. Collari having his best round of the 6 rounds of qualifying, doing a 4.13. So Mack's going to need to step it up just a little bit as he is just a tick off Collari's pace.
Collari proving to be coming good at the right time. It's all about peaking at the right moment. I feel like some drivers peak too early at an IFMAR World Championships week and then they drop off later on in the week, but Collari might just be starting to peak at the right time of the week. We'll find out at the end of qualifying. He won't make it out for Superpole. I don't think he will race today. He'll be racing from tomorrow morning. A little bit deeper in our field than the top heats as we follow along. Back with Rick Vrelink and Oliver Mack just coming into frame right at the end there. Chasing each other around the track. Vrelink through the Infinity Carousel, trying to chase down Mack for time, but is ahead of him on track as both of these guys now looking at going faster than the 9-time world champ Collari's time.
Vrelink now stepping it up, 14.6 that lap, 14.6 for Mack. Chavit with a 14.9. Shinozuke doing a 14.8 lap. The previous lap on lap 13. There's Robbie doing his best lap, 14.8. Tim Wood, a 15.0. Again, it's been away all through qualifying. Most of the hot laps are happening after about lap 9 or 10 as we had a flame out there or something. Trouble coming into the front. I heard the Mike, the track announcer, hollering, trying to call it out. It is still Rick. Now Rick in front of us. We're up in here as Oliver Mack just a couple tenths slower. Rick throwing down a heater lap, 14.5. His hot lap on lap 16 moves him to the top of the board.
Right on the end lap, and it looks like Mack is out of fuel.
Oh,
on the back
man.
straight. Heartbreak, man.
Just, what is that? I don't know in meters. 20, 30 meters from the finish line?
Not even. Oliver Mack.
Man, oh, man.
A heartbreaking finish here. Will not take the line. He'll end up on 16.357. That will put him third in the run. And he'll be that first guy to miss out on 17 laps on the overall qualifying. No one will get that close. But Rick Vrelink picks up the win and goes faster than Lamberto Collari's time. 17.412.3. The new time to beat here from the Netherlands driver, rocking the Infinity chassis to the top of the board.
Excellent, excellent run there for Rick Chavit, going his 17.414. And tough luck there for Oliver Mack.
As we take a great look at the driver's stand, as we get set for what would be race 4 here, which would be Heat 10
All right, we got some more fast guys coming up here. First guy that comes to mind there, Timo Liano, had just zero luck so far.
He needs a good one here.
He absolutely does. Something to brighten his day, just like Andy. Andy got his first 17-lap run, so Timo needed a little help. He was the fastest in a free practice on Monday. He was the man to beat, but now he's just fallen down the ladder and has struggled in qualifying. He, to use your term, bended up in the last round coming down the front straight.
It's just bended.
Just bended.
Yeah.
Just bended.
Timo
Okay.
came so close to making 17-lap runs here in rounds 1 and 2. Ran 16.4 flat with a 6 and then with a 3 in round 2. Has dropped off a little bit after that. Was on track for a 17 again. He ran 3:59. He ran out of fuel in round 4 yesterday afternoon. Just trying to get that elusive 17-lapper. If you get that, it just shoots you right up the board to be inside the top 15. There's not many people running 17-lap runs at all. If I look back and I'm looking through the order, 19th in the previous round was still a 17-lapper. So you get a 17, you're guaranteed a top 20 at this point.
Look at Enzo Battazzini. He had tough luck in that last one, running out of fuel on his final lap. And he was on a pretty good run, a pace to do his first 17. His best so far was a 16.4 flat .2. That was in round number 4. So Enzo looking for a little love. He's had some guys cheering him on online. So hopefully Enzo has a bit better luck. Same with Yillis Grosskamp. Yillis had a good run, his best run in the last qualifying round 5, but now Yillis definitely needs a little bit. He needs to come out absolutely smoking. He's going into the last round out of 5 rounds of qualifying. He was 17th overall. He had his best result, a 10th place overall in round 5. He did a 17.412. He's had a couple 17s, but still not fast enough. His other rounds put him 11th, put him 15th. I don't think close enough to be in the semis. It'd be close. He's probably in the quarterfinals right now. So Yillis needs definitely a better than a top 10. He needs to be in the top 8 or so to have a chance to maybe squeaking into the bottom of the semis or locking himself into the quarterfinals.
It's going to be super tight to get those last couple of spots here, as just to make the semifinals here. I think you need to be top 18 overall as we take TQ goes through, so that leaves 1 already into the main. Then we fill 1 from Super Pole. That next goes through. So first and second effectively made up. So then you have the next 8 cars you want to split into the semifinals. You're going to put 6 in each, I think.
Yeah, I've been trying to find out what the official stance at IFMAR is going to do on how many they're going to bump up. And I tried to get a hold of Sanders, but he was in kind of conversation when we was doing pit interviews to find out exactly what the bump up thing would be.
So if they put in 8 in each, that means you've got to be the top 18 to make a semifinal.
So these guys getting called in after their warm-ups are complete. There's a great shot from our Infinity pit cam. You can see them loading up the fuel tanks, filling them to the brim. See the first car there, Masaya Ida from Japan, rocking the Infinity.
Here they go in 5 seconds.
All right, these guys rolling out. You see them just hopping off the tank one more time because they did push it to the limit with the 4-minute and the lead-in lap. They need all of the fuel they can to make that 4-minute stint.
It's absolutely clutch to make that into that 4-minute. We say 4, it's more like 4.5, pushing 4:40 if you have a bad lap here or there. As we get the master clock started off here, this is Group 10 on track. We are getting into the big boy heats. And who's going to be your round 6, and therefore will round out, and who's going to be your overall top qualifier? Scotty, you putting money on anyone?
No, we talked about this before. I don't call anybody out because all I do is jinx them. It's just, nope. I'll cheer him on, but yeah, I don't want to. No, that's come back to haunt me and many people through the years.
If I were a betting man, I'd put money on Balestri, but I'm not a betting man. We don't have that back home. We don't have a whole bunch of betting and gambling.
You can gamble here.
Oh, yeah?
Anytime I do, it goes to charity, though, if I win, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We did some gambling together in Las Vegas a few years ago.
We did.
It was very, very late at night, though.
Exactly. It was, yeah, for sure.
We
Good
are
times.
into Heat 10 on track. Jeffrey Reitfeld getting up to the top of the sheet early on, taken with him Gillies Groskamp into the second spot as Robin de Hont, the Belgian driver with the Capricorn chassis, trying to chase down a 3 spot. Patrick Schaefer into the P4 as we follow along. Timo putting his race body on for the final round of qualifying.
Timo rocking the race paint. Good to see. Those are some world famous colors. Timo has been a legend in racing for so many years. Former European champion, just running a lot of electric touring car through the years. But now in his older years, been digging the Nitro stuff. He's ran a lot of Nitro buggy through the years. He's run everything, but now Nitro on road, that's his baby. 10 scale and 1/8. That's what he loves.
When I was about 4 foot tall and a real young kid reading about Timo in all the car action magazines that I'd picked up about 2 months later than when they actually were released back in Australia.
Yeah, everything was a little later, and the race happened, and then 6 months later you see it in car action,
yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
And now it's instantaneous, and that's pretty awesome. There's Timo with hot lap at a race, 14.6. Ely's stepping up to the third spot there with a 14.8. Enzo Bastianini with a 14.9. Jeffrey Riedfeld, 14.6, backs it up with a 14.7. Mirko Salema, a 14.7. We got about a minute 30 left to go in this heat.
Riedfeld having a good run here. Unable to chase down the top time set by Rick Vreelinck at the moment. He's just outside of it, though. 4/100ths of a second slower than Vreelink's current round
no.
TQ.
Timo getting it wrong through the hot race chicane. I don't know if you saw it just to the left of the screen. Man, oh man, Timo, not the luck again, just not with him here. Things just not going right. Pretty sure that was Timo that was going through.
Yeah,
that's wrong in the chicane.
He's gone all the way down to P9 after that one. It was a 16.9 he recorded across the line. That's a make or break part of the lap here. You can make up so much time if you absolutely rail it. But the risk versus reward, I don't know, Scotty. Those curves will bite you in the backside real hard.
Absolutely, man. We've seen it collect so many of the top guys here through the course of the week at the World Championships. We got 35 seconds left on the race clock. We're going to go to the Infinity Instant Replay here and check this out. We see Timo coming into the hot race chicane. Oh,
just missed it.
Bendit coming in, woed it up just in time. A save there, but still cost him a couple. I think it was a 16-second lap. Cost him a couple precious seconds there.
And panic brakes there from Timo Leno. He managed to pull it up, and he will record the rest of the run, but given away the time that he needed to try and go quick here in the final round of qualifying. As we're running down the clock, Robin de Hont goes to the second spot, but loses a bit of time on Jeffrey Riedfeld, who's gone faster than Vreelink's top time for the round. Riedfeld looking at resetting the round TQ here.
He is looking really good. Him and Robin right now. Robin in a 2 spot. Just saw him across the start-finish line with a 14.8. Robin doing a 17.413, but Jeffrey Riedfeld out front. 4.11 is the pace. That is a very, very good run for him. Riedfeld now winding down on his final lap. See if he's going to be able to get it to the finish line and be able to bring it home with a 17, and he is going to be able to do that. Jeffrey with a 17-lap run. He's had a lot of 17s. He had a 4.11.3 in round number 5, and now he finishes with a 4.12.1.
With a 17.413 with a 5. And Gillies Groskamp finishing in the third spot with a 17.413.
All right, that one's in the books. Jeffrey takes the W in that one with a 17.412. All right, as we get ready for our next heat, we want to show a big shout out to everybody here at Steel City Raceway. It's quite a project to put on a World Championships, especially as stellar as this. And they got a lot of wonderful track sponsors that help us out. So we just want to give a little bit of shout out to them. Of course, to Infinity being the title sponsor here of the World Championships. Also a big shout out to Hot Race, Wallace Motorsports, Good Wine Glass, and Absolute Hobbies.
Big thanks also to KO Propo, VP Racing, RCI, Savox, Protoform, Mugen Seiki, Pole Position RC Club, FG Supply, RacesRC.com and San Juan. Everyone getting behind and supporting the club, trying to host an IFMAR World Championships here. A big thank you on behalf of Steel City RC Speedway for the companies getting involved.
It's quite an endeavor to be able to take on a task such as a World Championship. So a tip of the hat to Phil and Kyle, the Goodwine family, and all the club guys here at Steel City RC. It's a mammoth undertaking, especially with the adverse conditions we had with the wind. They've had to take all the banners down, put them back up. We had to cancel the day. So great job to the Goodwine family and everybody here at Steel City. And a big shout out to all the sponsors that make it possible to bring the World Championship to America. This is the 7th time now the World Championships for 8 scale have been held in the United States. 6 previous times. It's a couple times they were in Pomona, California. Then it was held in Austin, Texas. It was held in 2003 in Hamilton, Ohio. Then it was in Homestead, Florida. And now another time back here in sunny, beautiful California.
We are getting set with what will be Group 11 here. A chance at redemption. And a spot in the Super Pole is up for grabs here for the Australian Jesse Davis, who's locked horns and into a battle with JJ Wong looking for that spot here. Shoki Takahata out here on track for the final time with Dominic Greiner, your round 3 top qualifier, a former IFMAR World Champion, as we're going to go take a look here at an Infinity Racer Spotlight with the one and only Dominic Greiner.
Hi, my name is Dominic Greiner. I'm 27 years old and I'm from Bavaria, Germany. Yeah, my father and my uncle do the sport and flying airplanes and also driving cars, so I get into it. And yeah, my real passion was for driving real cars, but it was too expensive for our family, so I drove the small cars, and yeah, I improved, and yeah, now I'm here. The most I like in RC car is to battle with other cars, the competition, to be every time the fastest, and the close battles on the track. That's real racing, and I like it so much. So I'm driving for Serpent, and we're here with a brand new 989, and we made a huge improvement this year with the car, and oh, it's very technical and difficult here, but overall I'm very happy with the car. We're here in Fontana, and you watch live the World Championship in 1/8 IC track, and yeah, it will be very good competition here.
Great little grab with a former IFMAR World Champion for 200mm Nitro Touring Car, Dominic Greiner. Your round 3 top qualifier has an opportunity to snatch a round here. We check out what he had from previous rounds. He had the round 3 TQ. His next best result, he has a pair of 3s. If he could pick up another round TQ, I think he would miss out on the overall TQ against Naoto Matsukura. Actually, it depends on where Matsukura finishes. It really depends, because Dominic's fastest zero, or his zero, was a 409.7. Naoto has a 409.74, so Naoto's faster. But Dominic, if he would beat that time, it's wide open. There's 3-4 guys that can, possibly get TQ out of this, depending how it sorts out. The way the points stack up as well is if Greiner were to get a win here in round 6 and Matsukura were to be 3rd, then they would be tied on points and going through that faster time. But Matsukura picks up a 2. It's automatically going to the Japanese driver, current 200mm Nitro Touring Car World Champ, as we are on track and running Jesse Davis straight to the top of the sheet here from his fellow Aussie, Jeff Hammond, into second as we follow factory white body here for Jesse Davis today.
Jesse has a pretty good weekend so far, or week during the week here with this qualifying. He's in a tight battle, as you mentioned earlier, with JJ Wong in the hunt for that Super Pole, the final spot. That's what they're shooting for. They want to be in the top 5 spots after it's all said and done with qualifying. TQ locks right in, then the next 4 battle for the Super Bowl. Jeff Hammond, who has had one hell of a week so far, rocking and rolling to the top of the board now on a 17.410. Stellar run right now for Hammond. This would be his best timed run overall. His bet points so far, he has a 4 and 2 5s.
Great run here from Hammond. Was saying after Greiner took his setup, he maybe just needs to take some of Greiner's driving skill and see if he can put it on top of the board. He put in a 14.582, fastest lap of the race. He's going quicker now into the 4.09's predictive pace ahead of Jesse Davis in second. Dominic Greiner now goes to second. Splits Davis, they're battling. They're going back and forth. Hard at it here. Shoki Takahata back to the 4th spot. Silvio Hackler rounding out your top 5.
Carmine Raiola sitting in the 6th spot right now. Bryce Butterfield, the hometown local. Thomas Desmarais and Alessio Mazzeo and Steven Jovanovic. Unfortunately, tough luck here. Only 3 laps in. Jovanovic showing out.
An unfortunate one for the Aussies. We picked up with Jeff Hammond, the newly joined Team Serpent driver. The new kid on the block for Team Serpent, only joined a few months ago, has only had the newest car for a little while, comes out here to the World Championships and is leading his final qualifying run. Chasing it through the Wallace double right-hander, right up against that inside rumble strip. Perfect line through the Infinity Carousel. He holds on to the smallest of margins. He's only predicting to be 2/10 quicker than Greiner as they switch it around. Dominic Greiner goes to the top now.
Greiner doing hot lap right there, 14.499 to the top of the board on a 4.09. Backs it up with a 14.6. Hammond with a 14.7. Takahata with his hot lap, 14.5. Davis with a 14.6. Back and forth, the Aussies swapping spots into the 2 and 3. But Greiner showing his way at the top on a 17.409. Just 3/10 now with another good lap, 14.5 to Hammond's 14.8.
I'd have to say, during the peak of the day heat, we're approaching that middle of the day. We're due to finish qualifying here at midday on the dot. I don't know, the track's warmer than it was for qualifying round 5 earlier. A 4.09 might actually be a really hard time to beat here for qualifying round 6 as we follow along with Dominic Greiner, former IFMAR world champion in 200mm Nitro, across the back straight with 30 seconds left to go. He's edging out only half a second lead over Jeff Hammond into that 2 spot.
New hot lap right there, 14.448 on lap 12 for Dominic. Hammond had a 14.6 to answer. Silvio Hackler doing his best lap there, 14.666 on lap number 13. Greiner backs it up with a 14.7. So it is Greiner, Hammond, and Davis right now. Shoki Takahata in the top 4 and Silvio Hackler round out your top 5. On the outside right now to the top 5 is Butterfield.
Check out this great split screen view. Jeff Hammond on the top of your screen, Dominic Greiner on the bottom here. The 2 Serpent drivers fighting it out, but with less than half a second between them as we're rounding out the clock. Their final laps are on the board here. 1 lap to do it, and we've seen so many times this last lap we switch around the top couple of drivers. Hammond's going to lose time here. Jesse Davis showing for second right at the end.
Dominic in a little bit of traffic. I don't know how much it would have slowed him up. He got through it coming out of the hot race chicane as they come around to complete lap number 17. Dominic still showing at the top of the board. We're waiting for Davis and Takahata and Hammond. Waiting for Takahata, and this one's in the books. Dominic Greiner going to take it. Goes to the top of the leaderboard. A solid run. 17.409. Davis nipping Hammond. Almost tied last lap, but it's Davis right now by 0.2 of a second. Second overall with a 4.09. And look at that, Chris. 3 guys separated by 0.6 with 17.409 results.
Super close racing right at the peak of qualifying. Their final chance to put in a hot run, and the margins might be super tight, but every point is oh so valuable to putting them in a good spot, and that super pole is what Jesse Davis is shooting for. Dominic Greiner with the current round TQ into the final round, a 4.09 with a 1. What do you think, Scotty? Do you think the track is slowing up a little bit? Can Dominic Greiner take the round 6 TQ?
I don't think it's going to be able to hold. I think a couple of these guys here in the final group, Group 12, are going to just throw it care to the wind and just not go for safety. They got to go fast. You know, you're looking at guys like we talked about earlier. JJ in the hot hunt with Jesse Davis right now for the last spot in a Super Pole. I think JJ is just he's gonna have to go for it. The tie break, IFMAR tie breaks. When there's a ties on points, then you look at them running to the pit lane. That's so awesome. Just trying to get the guys out there. The IFMAR tie break is when there's a tie on points, they go to the highest point result. Then, if the highest point result is the same, then it's the laps and time of your highest point result to factor in the tie break. So right now, it's very, very close between Davis and Wang for that last spot in the Super Pole trial.
Considering if they had finished up after round 5 of qualifying, Davis would have got the spot for the top 5 into the Super Bowl by the fact that he has 2 3s and a 5. Wong would have gone down to 6 with a 3, a 4, and a 5, or 2 4s and a 3. I'm trying to do the math in my head.
Don't try. I tried and failed, so we just let the computer do it.
What it was is Davis was going to end up on top, but this final round is the opportunity here. Looking at the comparative times between what Davis put in then was his fastest run time of qualifying so far by about a second. Davis with a 4:09.5. His previous best was a 4:10.7, so he's 1.2 seconds quicker. JJ Wong has not dipped underneath the 4:10s yet on a 17-lap run, so it's going to be a super clutch run here for JJ Wong, but we have eyes on your potential overall top qualifier here. The battle between Naoto Matsukura, Dario Balestri, and Simon Kurzbach, all with a chance here in Group 12.
It is a big deal to get top qualifier at any race, especially at the World Championships, because then you are, bam, locked into the championship final. No need to worry about the semis.
So we are still a minute 30 away from a race start. We will be following these two all race long here. Naoto Matsukura, current 200mm IFMAR world champion for Nitro Touring Car in the yellow, followed by defending 8-scale Nitro on-road world champion Dario Balestri, the Italian driver, in the white car behind him through the Infinity Carousel. They both race the same car for the same team, fighting it out for overall TQ.
As we get ready here to bring you coverage of round number 6 of qualifying for our top group here on LiveRC.com, presented by Infinity. We want to give a big shout out to everybody watching around the globe here on LiveRC.com. Why don't you chime in, say, hey, let us know where you're from. A little roll call time here as we get ready for round number 6. It has been an absolute thriller here so far in sunny Southern California for the World Championships here on LiveRC.com. And Chris, who's your pick? Who's going to take it as we go into this final heat of qualifying?
Balestri.
I'm
putting money on it.
There you go. He's calling it out. Me? I ain't saying nothing because I only jinx.
We're going to be finding out.
Okay. Who's going to take the tiebreak for, or who's going to get that final spot between Jesse or JJ for the Super Bowl?
As much as I
Come on,
want
you're an
Jesse,
Aussie now.
It's going to be Jesse.
You're going to be Jesse?
I'm going to be Jesse.
You're from Australia. You take Jesse. I'm from America. I'm taking JJ.
All right.
Okay, deal.
That's the battle in the points for the final spot in the Super Bowl. We'll find out that one at the end of this run as we're about to go Master Clock Live. But Group 12, qualifying round 6, the overall is on the line.
This is going to be an absolute thriller here as these guys are going to roll out. Let's see which way. Looks like from the back to the front this time. So they are going reverse grid. You can see them backwards, letting them roll out. So our top two are going to roll out second and last to last. Man, oh man, this one is going to be thriller. There's Darryl rolling out. Here we go, guys. Qualifying showtime.
Oh, look how
here on LiveRC.com.
Look how slow they were going. The orange car, I think that was Kurzbach. He was just waiting to try and have as much of a gap as possible. But Naoto and Balestri don't want to wait at all. They've started off their first flying lap here as the first laps are being ticked off by your first few cars to come across the line. Naoto might have already put a gap on Balestri on this opening lap, even though it looked awkward coming out of the hot race chicane.
Dario Balestri at the top of the board by a 10th right now. Then it's going to be Francesco Tironi with a 14.7, Takaki Shimu with a 14.9, Matsukura with a 14.9, Gruber with a 14.9, Kurzbusch with a 15.0, Sahashi with a 14.8, Robert Peach with a 15.0 that time. JJ Wong not out to the barreling start he needs with a 15.4, and Jonathan Gandon with a 15.5.
Just a moment ago, a real bad tank slapper for Naoto Matsukura coming out of this pit entry hairpin as he's about to come through there. We're watching Dario Balestri trying to chase him down. Dario to a 14.5, fastest lap of the race so far, chasing down a 4.09, still not on top of the sheet from Greiner and Davis at the moment with time left to go, 2:35 left to run. Balestri's last lap a 14.7. He's holding on to the smallest of margins at the moment over Naoto Matsukura, who just put in a 14.6.
What a great show they showed from the previous heat with two 4.09s there from Dominic Greiner and Jesse Davis, still showing Jeff Hammond. These guys a bit off. The pace should pick up as they get midway into the closing stages of this qualifying heat for round 6. But Dario Balestri showing at the top of the board, just a few tenths right in front of Matsukura and Kurzbusch.
Balestri with a new hot lap of the race a moment ago, taking it from Kurzbach, a 14.497. We're into the fours here. But we're coming up on traffic here. We watch Nato Matsukura coming up onto the back of one of the white cars. With Balestri right behind him at the moment. The gap between them, nothing in it. Balestri trying to chase down that round TQ. He's gone to the top of the predictive time on a 4:09.043, just ahead of Dominic Greiner's time. Greiner could still be a chance of a round TQ here in round 6.
Dario is just stepping it up there. 14.4 hot lap. Backs it up with a couple 14.6s here. Simon with a 14.5 to the 2. Matsukura followed by Tironi. JJ way down in 7th spot right now. JJ showing that he's got to pick it up. 16.4 flat. Jesse had a 4.09, so JJ absolutely has to lay it down here in the final couple minutes of this qualifying heat.
Going to have to make up 4.5 to 5 seconds to pick up the pace and put the fight to Jesse Davis here in round 6. Matsukura over at the hot race chicane. It's over.
Man.
Dario Balestri's going to open this one up, but Simon Kurzbach is on a charge. He might put the fight to him with 1 minute to go.
Man, this changes absolutely everything. Matsukura chance to get another TQ is done. Now it's on Dario. Dominic and Simon are all in this one for the overall TQ. Dominic's time is in the books right now with a 4.091. Dario Balestri with a 4.091 also to tie it, and he just comes out with a hot lap of 14.4. We're in the final minute here of round number 6.
If Kurzbach gets the win here in round 6, he will be, I believe, your overall top qualifier who'd be locked into a battle with Matsukura, but does not have the third best placing as we follow along with Simon Kurzbach out of the hot race chicane, trying to chase down that time. They're dipping into the 4.08s. It is red hot here in qualifying round 6. 15 seconds to go.
And a new hot lap of the event, a 14.31 from Dario Balestri as he tries to take it back and take it to Simon as they fight it out here in the final 3 laps for TQ.
Half a second separates them on predictive time at the moment between Balestri and Kurzbach, fighting it out for the top spot. A 3.57 from Kurzbach, a 3.18 from Balestri. They're going to start what will be their second to final lap as they were the last couple of cars to start the run. Tironi on his final lap, so currently sitting 3rd. Shimo 4th. JJ Wang 5th. We follow along Balestri all the way to the finish.
Balestri now. Oh, Balestri running out of fuel. Here is Simon's opportunity as Balestri runs out of fuel there. Oh, my. This is going to come down to the points here as they come around. It looks like Balestri did finish. Balestri did finish. He got a 17 lap, 4.077. Simon's last lap is hot lap, but not enough as Dario Balestri to the top of the leaderboard, taking round number 6.
My goodness. Panic stations for a moment as we were slow to update our timesheet. Dario Balestri gets the round 6 TQ spot, takes it from Simon Kurzbach to the tune of 0.4 of a second, leaving Dominic Greiner in 3rd. And Scotty, we're doing some mental math here in the Live RC booth for the Infinity Broadcast Studio.
4.07775. Matsukura had a 4.07692. This was a 7.75.
Balestri's other one was a 6.71 though.
We got to look. So Noato's time is going to be a 0, a 0, and a 4. Balestri is going to have a 0, 0, and a 2. So that means Dario Balestri is going to have 2 points to Matsukura's 4 points, even though they both share 2 TQs. Unofficially, the TQ should go to Balestri.
Unbelievably. Unofficially, of course, we'll figure it all out and have final points at the end of qualifying as we finish off with what is Group 12. This will be unbeatable in this round, and Dario Balestri provisionally your overall top qualifier on his World Championship defense. Unbelievable that he peaked at the very end of yesterday, peaking at the right time of the week here, Scotty.
Matsukura had it. If he would have got a second overall in this round, that would have gave him a true tie with Dario. If Dario went and TQ'd, they both would have had 2 zeros. They both would have had a second. The IFMAR tie break goes. If the drivers have the same points, it goes to the higher result. They both would have had a 0. They would have compared to 0 times from Matsukura and Dario, and Matsukura would have beat him by a point, 1/10 of a second in the overall tiebreak.
Unbelievable here. Well, folks, if you're watching live online from Live RC's broadcast of the 2019 IFMAR 1XL Nitro On-Road World Championships from Steel City RC Speedway, we have just witnessed some thrilling qualifying action, and provisionally, Dario Balestri, defending world champion, is your overall top qualifier. We go from Group 12 at the peak of the table all the way to Group 1 now to continue on with qualifying round 6. More to come. Super Pole from 12:30 local time PM. I think we have to go grab some interviews with our top qualifiers, provisionally, of course, in round 6.
Absolutely. We'll be back. We're going to go out there. Chris is going to take the con here. I'll be back.
As we're back on track with Group 1, getting set here for round 6 of qualifying. We've only seen laps being turned here from Chris Velez and Ben Wallace in this heat. Nothing from Esteban Mueller, Fabrizio Martello, or Eric Dennett. As we're back around into Heat 1 in qualifying round 6. We'll let the clock run down. We'll be back very soon. 1 minute 30 till race start for Group 1 in qualifying round 6.
One minute left in warm up, guys. 1 minute left. Seconds to the start of the race. In 30 seconds, guys. Bring them in. No more laps, please. Bring them in. Seconds to the start of the race. Yeah, reverse order. Starting with 5. We're going to go in 5 seconds. All right. Loop is live. The team manager from Germany to check, please. Team manager from Germany to check. This is our first group out on track. It's number 7 right now. Out in front is Chris Velez in that bright pink car, number 5. 15.3 last time by. Ben Wallace in the second spot with an 18.9 last time by. Chris Velez with a 15.1 last time by on a 16.404 pace.
We are working our way through qualifying here in round number 6, the final round of qualifying at the 2019 IFMAR 1XL Nitro On-Road World Championships from Steel City RC Speedway here in Fontana, California. Proudly brought to you by Infinity. Following along with our Group 1 drivers, as we've just seen, provisional overall top qualifier Dario Balestri stormed to the final round after snatching round 4 yesterday afternoon. And taking his second here in round 6, it works out to the secondary point scores. Balestri with a 2 will finish up on 2 points. Matsakura with his next best result of a 4 will finish up on 4 points. So all things considered, until results are officially published at the end of the round, we are 99% sure. And provisional top qualifier on his World Championship defense for Team Infinity, Dario Balestri, the Italian driver, is your overall top qualifier, provisionally, of course, as we pick up Chris Velez through the Infinity Carousel and onto the back straight here. Putting in a 15.108 with Ben Wallace. The NBA star, of course, running second.
Velez still out in front.
Just the two left in this heat. They're looking at going 39th and 53rd in the round so far. As we'll bring you the remaining 6 races here in round 6 of qualifying. For those of you watching live online and asking questions in the chat on Facebook or on ifmar.liverc.com, what is the schedule for finals? The rest of the schedule for today here, we are due to have Super Pole from 12:30 p.m. local time. That's in 1 hour and 15 minutes approximately from now. Lower finals are due to start from 1:30 p.m. local time with our 1:256 finals. And then from 2:30 we'll have the 128th. Then 3:30 we'll have the 164th. And then from 4:30 p.m. local time, we'll have the 132nd finals. Tomorrow morning from approximately 8:30 a.m. I believe they will be due to start from 8 a.m. We'll start with the 116th finals. Semi-finals are due to start from 1 p.m. tomorrow. And our driver's presentation from 2:30 as we get ready for the World Championship A main event to decide who will be your 2019 IFMAR 1/8 Nitro On-Road World Champion. The main final due to start with the presentations at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. The main final will be due to start from 4 p.m. From Steel City RC Speedway here, Infinity sponsoring and presenting the 2019 IFMAR 1/8 Scale Nitro On-Road Worlds on the grounds of Auto Club Speedway in the beautiful facility here to the east of Los Angeles in Fontana, California.
4 and 5.
We are working our way through Group 1 in qualifying round 6.
Taking away in that run, Chris Velez with a 16.405. Finishing in the second spot, Ben Wallace with a 13.402.
As we just finish things up here with Group 1 on track, we're going to send it down to Scotty with an Infinity race report.
All right, we're coming to you to pit. Try to reach in here, get Dominic Greiner here. If I can interrupt him here for a quick minute here. Dominic, we've talked to you a few times right now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching you. You look kind of down, but are you down or are you happy with your performance?
No, now I'm happy, yeah. When we looked how we started, so now it's pretty good. It's not on the top and I'm not super happy with the setup, but it's drivable and it stays on all four wheels, so yeah, I have to learn to drive it, but it's not easy. It's not my setup, not my car, but no other options. So
one thing we always talk about when we qualify, and myself as a racer, everybody always wants to be in the top heat. That can work for you or sometimes work against you. Now you were in like the B group. What was your feeling being the fastest in that B group?
I think that's not a problem because the competition is so high here. I think we have 30 drivers. They're almost on the same level, so our group was fine. So sometimes you have traffic, but also in the last group they have also traffic, also because of the changing starting positions. But it's fine. Yeah, it was no problem.
What's the plan for today in preparations for the semis? Or Super Bowl, I guess. You got Super Bowl coming up here in about an hour.
I know, but the problem is I'm not the Super Bowl driver. So on one lap, I think we are not fast enough. So we think we have also 5 minutes practice before. So I think I will test one thing. And yeah, sure, I give my best for Super Bowl, but I think, yeah, the other guy, Simon, for sure, is on one lap, he's faster and quicker. So I give my best, but for the semi-final and for the long run, I think we have a competitive car, and also with the engine worked fine now, so things look good.
All right, best of luck to you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, impressive drive there from Dominic Greiner in the Serpent Camp. Sharing setups throughout the course of the event, but going to battle it out for Super Bowl. And as most of these guys at the competitive level that they are, he says, I got 5 minutes, it's time to test something. So they never stop, always trying to reach to that pinnacle of performance. So a good little chat there with Dominic Greiner. Back to you, Chris, in the Infinity Broadcast Studio.
Great little chat with Dominic there. I believe he'll end up qualifying 4th at the end of this round overall, of course, as Simon Kurzbach sitting 2nd in the round. His other results, a win in round 2 and a 2nd in round 4 will line up. That will give him 4 points. He'll actually end up tied with Naoto Matsukura, but Matsukura with the pair of zeros against his name will go 2nd on overall qualifying. Kurzbach will go 3rd. Greiner with a trio of 3s and a 0 will go 0, 3, 3 will be on 6 points. That should put him 4th overall. Then it goes down to Jesse Davis, who has 2 3s and a 4. JJ Wong has a 3 and 2 4s. So Davis will be the last driver in your Super Bowl, provisionally, of course, as everything yet to shake out. We're in Group 2 and race 8 on the official timing screen for qualifying round 6 here. Pooh White, Eduardo Giardino, Franco Desiderio, Alvaro Jara, Natalio Marangiolo, Jose Sanchez Jr., Alonso Canseco, William Pendergrass, Jeff Devlin, and Fernando Alvarez on track. We're going to throw down back to Scotty down in the pits with another Infinity race report.
All right, we're here with just one of the guys here enjoying the World Championship, a very tall guy from the Netherlands, Ari Manton. Ari, you're always happy. Every time I see you at a race, you truly enjoy this hobby. You come here to the World Championship. Tell us about your experience so far.
It's very nice to be here with the sunshine, the cars, all the friends, all the team. It's like perfect, just perfect.
Now you brought your son here to kind of share in the fun that you're having.
Yes. Can you invite my son? He gets some days off from school, so he can come and he enjoy also. Very good. Yes.
What is you've raced a long time. When did you start racing? How long have you raced?
Oh, I think 15 years ago I started with 110. And after 110, we meet some guys at our club, and they have 1/8 scale. And I think, oh, maybe I try. And so further, and then we hit some races, and it's okay. I'm not the best, but I enjoy.
Yeah, you're ENS Masters champion, though, right?
Last year. This year was not good. No. But we drink a beer, and it's always fun.
Exactly.
And that's important.
That's for sure. That is the most important. And you're having a good time with the Infinity team. You're always laughing with Kenji and having a good time for sure.
Yes. He's the best. Without him, I was not standing here. For sure.
We're glad you made it, able to bring your son and continue having a good time here at the Worlds.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you all.
All right, one of the many faces here at the World Championship. Always smiling, always happy. Ari's just, he's always just a comedian having a good time. We're going to try, we got a special guest coming up here. We got Gil Losi Jr. is here. He's kind of in a conversation right now, so I'm going to try to grab him real quick while he's being interviewed. Gil Losi, a legend in the world, even if you're not into the off-road and the Losi name from the electric side. Chris, we're going to throw it back to you right now. As soon as I can get a hold of Gil Losi, we're going to bring it to you. But back to the Infinity broadcast studio.
We are back on track here with Group 8 in this heat. Just about to cross the halfway point here. Natalio Marangiolo, the Argentinian, the Capricorn chassis, leading things out. We follow across the line. We go with Pooh White at the moment in the one car. Coming up on a little bit of traffic here for the American driver, rocking the Mugen Seiki chassis. Oh, man, wild ride through the Wallace double right-hander. Pooh White threads the needle, does the old cold trickle trick. Trying to sneak through across the line. He currently sits third at the moment as Marangiolo with a hot lap of the race at a 15.655. Leads the way. Oh, another close call for Pooh White. Man, oh man, he's copping the close ones here. Jeff Devlin into the second spot. Pooh White into third here. William Pendergrass in the fourth spot. Eduardo Giardino back to P5 here from Alonso Canseco, Jose Sanchez Jr., Alvaro Jara, and Franco Desiderio. Three minutes down, one to go. Marangiolo leading the way, looking at a 15-lapper at the moment.
Less than 1 minute to go.
Bit of a reverse order or a shake-up of the running order here in qualifying round 6 at the IFMAR World Championships.
And we got Pooh White running in third.
With Heat 7 starting us off here in this round rather than Heat 1 to get us started. We have already seen the top heats run. And they are provisionally set in stone for qualifying round 6. Dario Balestri, defending IFMAR World Champion.
That is time, guys. Keep going until I call you done. Everybody, keep going. Car 8 is done. Everybody else, keep going. 6 is done.
Rounding out the clock here for Group 8. As they finish off here, Marignolo finishing off with a hot lap right at the end of 15.546.
1 and 9 is done.
Jeff Devlin comes home for second here. Pooh White for third.
And that is
William Pendergrass goes to the 4th spot. Jose Sanchez Jr. rounds out your top 5, but it's Marignolo picking up the win in this one. We'll go 51st for the round so far.
All right, all cars are done. Taking the win that run is Natalia Marangolo with a 15.
Natalia Marignolo taking the win.
Jeff Devlin finishing in the 2nd spot with a 15.4.
From Devlin and White, Pendergrass, a trio of American drivers lining up 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in this one.
Coming up.
Just missing out on that 16-lap run here for Marignolo, the Argentinian driver. Check on what he had in this one at the moment. He was showing 76th on points after securing a 64, a 57, and a 56. The 56, his best result so far in qualifying round 5 earlier today. He's gone faster than that here with a 15.401, so he might be able to pick up potentially a top 50 run to put Natalia Marignolo further up the grid to finish off qualifying. As we're going to go back down to Scotty Ernst for an Infinity Race report with Gil Losi Jr. down there in the pits.
4th and 85.
All right, we are here with Gil Losi Jr., a face that maybe not a lot of you guys in Nitro world, but Gil is not a novice when it comes to the world of 8 scale. Tell us a little bit about the history.
Oh, history. This is my favorite class. This probably ruined me as an off-road driver.
Really?
But yeah, my first Worlds was Japan 85. I finished, I think, 4th.
Holy cow.
And TQ'd 87 and led until I broke a 2-speed.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that's when we started developing the Team Losi cars, so that put it into my racing 8 scale.
No kidding. That's some history that a lot of us never really knew about, that this was the beginning. So it's cool that it's kind of in your backyard, that you can come and hang out today and enjoy this beautiful race that they're having.
If the weather would have been nicer, I would have been here more. I grew up in this area, so I didn't want to come stand in the cold wind.
Do you ever get to race anymore? I mean, in any form of racing?
I've been playing a lot with the 8-scale electric off-road and doing some club racing there.
So now, for those of us in industry, you kind of have a change here. Your employment changed a little bit here. Tell us what you're doing kind of recently.
Well, I'm still a minority owner in AKA and doing all the product development there now. And I've also started consulting for TLR, which really cool to go work with Todd Hodge again.
I was going to ask you, it's got to just, obviously it puts a smile on your face. I mean, you've been part of them guys for forever, obviously, with Horizon buying the Losi brand and things like that. Does it feel like going home a little bit?
A little bit. It's hard not to just want to dive in and just devote 100% to car development. I have to restrain myself and stay within my boundaries. They have a lot of good developers there that work really, really hard. And just, I'm there to support them, bring some history, material histories, and just support what they're doing.
What's your dad doing these days? I haven't seen him for years, and he was always a staple in the world.
Pop is awesome. He's still a leader in whatever he wants to do. Yeah. So he's heavily into street rodding. He loves to travel the country doing that, build cars. So, and gripe about getting old.
Well, it's good to see you here. I mean, you're obviously a legend in our world of racing. The Losi name has been part of everything. I always tell about, your 12 scale development back in the early years of on-road racing.
Yeah, the 12L.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how many people have forgotten the L stood for Losi originally.
Exactly. A lot of them don't, exactly. And us old guys, we know about it.
No, I've been super lucky. I got to work on the RC10 project with Roger. Taught me a lot about, just kind of engineering. Curtis Hustings taught me how to machine parts. And then when we started Team Losi, we just got a crash course in every kind of anything to do with engineering and manufacturing you can imagine. And just got to do everything and participate in so many things.
Well, appreciate you taking a few minutes with us here to look back, and great to have, a legend like yourself here at the show.
Hey, thank you.
Remember, guys, we're starting in reverse order. We're going in 5 seconds.
Epic here in the next year or so.
It's so addictive.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
All right, there's an absolute legend in our world of racing. Gil Losi joining us here at the World Championship. Good to have a chat and a look back down history and memory lane. Back to you, Chris, in the Infinity Broadcast Studio.
What a great chat with a legend over the years, and someone who's been part of the pioneering force of driving radio control car technology to where it is today. As we get on track with Group 9 showing on your screen at the moment, Gary Elias, Paul Wright, Giordano, Peter Ranella here, Junior Riley, Brian Malaquin, Tak Wu, Arthur Townsend, Greg Esser, Eric Bassenden, Ted Carrington lining up here as we go racing. A group dominated by drivers from the United States of America, a couple of Aussies, and a driver from Curacao in the field here. Tak Wu, your concourse winner, currently sitting on the 3 spot as we're 1 minute in, 3 minutes to go. We follow along with Tak on track, I believe. Coming out of the hot race chicane.
Thank you.
We follow along the white and orange. Coming across the line, Junior Riley we're actually following on screen for the American driver with the Serpent chassis. Junior having a good run here.
In the second spot, 16-2 last time by. 1 second.
Leading the way, or was leading the way a moment ago, now into the 3rd spot. We pick up with Gary Elias at the moment on track. Finding him around the circuit here as he comes onto the back straight.
2 minutes down and 2 minutes.
And coming across the line, Gary Elias leading the way here. Driving the Mugen MRX 6R with the modified OS-R04. Started racing in '98 with the Team Associated GT. And has run as high as 13th at the US Fuel On-Road Nationals. Currently leads away with a hot lap. 15.944 from Arthur Townsend into the 2nd spot. Greg Esser into 3rd. Junior Riley back to the 4th spot now with Tak Wu in P5. Brian Malaquin in 6th with Eric Bassenden in the 7th spot. Owner of NorCal Hobbies. And Giordano Pietranella from Curacao into P8. And Ted Carrington having a shocker opening with a 152.5. Not going to record a good time from him here. Gary Elias currently sitting 52nd for the round with 1 minute to go here in what is corrected to Group 3 on track. Elias hailing from Fresno in the US of A in this all-yellow Mugen car through the front kink into the Wallace double right-hander. Wallace Motorsports, a wide line through the Infinity Carousel right up against the apex. He comes onto the back straight though. Clicking through the speed trap, 63.6 miles per hour as we have our speed trap running in full swing once again today. And it may look like, if you've been following us all week long, that the speed trap speeds have been increasing, but a few changes to calibration and we are actually representing some more accurate speeds with our speed trap that sits between grids 2 and 3 on the back straight here. We're talking 63 miles per hour, 64 miles per hour. I've seen speeds as high as 67 miles an hour, which is, if you're working with the metric system, we're looking at speeds of 106 kilometers per hour at the moment. Oh, and catching a lapped car. Gary Elias getting caught up there, and we had 2 yellow cars into 1 at the moment, so I think we picked up the better of, or the one we were following. Gary coming across the line, who's had a long lap. He's lost the lead now before starting what should be his final lap. Arthur Townsend is going to be on his final lap here, leading the way. Last time across, setting a personal best of a 16.003 for Townsend. Comes across the line.
6 and 10, 1, 5 and 7, and looks like all cars are done. Taking them in that run was car number 4, Arthur Townsend. 15.404 for him.
Finishing off the group here. Group 3 is finished here in qualifying round number 6. Arthur Townsend getting the win. We'll go 52nd for the round so far, with Gary Elias home in second, going to P53. Brian Malaquin comes home in third here for the Aussie, from Greg Esser and Eric Basterton, rounding out your top 5 out of this group. Hot lap of the race at a 15.699 from Gary Elias into the second spot. As we look back to the driver's stand, everyone getting up onto the stand and ready to go out for Group 4 here in qualifying round 6.
Hi there, did you miss me?
Always.
All right. Every day in life, you try to learn something new.
Yeah.
If you do, it's a positive day. Kind of how I go through my life. My glass is always half full. And if you can learn something positive in a day, it was a positive day, right?
So what have you learned today?
I learned how much Gil Losi Jr. was involved with A-Scale.
On-road?
On-road.
Right.
So you saw in your interview, I asked him a couple questions there, and I talked to him off camera afterwards. And the 8-scale world with they have a solid rear axle, okay?
They have a spool, no diff.
Correct, basically, yes.
Not a live axle car, though.
He was basically, him and Gary Keyes in the early years in the 80s, I think he said 87, were one of the first ones to really bring that to market into 8-scale.
Yeah, right.
He said the guys at Associated played with it a little bit in RC 500s and dabbed in it, but Gil Losi was a Serpent importer in the late 80s, and we're running their cars, and him and Gary Keyes is here. He's working the fuel station, and those two together tried to bring it. They produced parts, and when Serpent guys came over for the World Championships, Gil and Gary had all the parts already produced for the Serpent team, and that's when it pretty much came to very near similar to what the guys are still running to this day.
To put a spool rear end in those cars instead of a diff.
Correct.
Wow. How about that?
Exactly. How many of you folks here on liverc.com knew that?
I'm sure it would be very few.
But it was epic news. I mean, it was great. Gil Losi, we've known him for years. He's a true icon and pioneer in our industry. And it was great to chat with him. Unfortunately, I get 2 minutes, to say hey. But it was really hear that, and to hear that he was a competitive racer back in the days. That was pretty outstanding.
I had the pleasure of meeting Gil for the first time at the Perth Off-Road Worlds when he was in town supporting the AKA team. Literally 12 months ago, I literally got a Facebook memories
came
notification.
up, said, hey, you in the scoring booth with the...
No, I got a photo of me at a restaurant with Gil Losi Jr. from 12 months ago. And now I got to find it. There we go.
There it is. Look at that. With
Gil
him,
Losi Jr., myself, Nicola Moroni, Max Rika, the McBrides are in the back there. Everyone out for a spot of dinner.
I'll be darned.
12 months ago today.
Wow, see? Boom. That's a big milestone, right? That's pretty awesome.
How about that? 12 months on from my first solo world championship commentating at basically my home track, and we're here in the USA doing the 8-scale on-road world championships at Steel City RC Speedway.
Well, that was pretty pretty awesome to be able to have that, and now there's a connection to all of us, so really cool. So hello to everybody watching here on liverc.com. Hope you're enjoying the show. What's up, Mike Trury's online? Jan Rathajski's online. Good to have you follow along. Richard Burnside, Mr. TMZ of the RC world. Good to have you follow along. James Douglas, Patrick Beck still on there cheering on as we have, what is this? In this round, it's race number 10.
So it's race 4.
Race 4 overall if you're looking at your heat sheets in here. And Chris been holding down the fort while I was out gallivanting and slacking.
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 I'll put that down to it. Well, we're on track, and no surprises. No one's beaten the current round CQ. So provisionally that will stand, and I've gone over my math multiple times, and I can say with 99.9% certainty we will have Dario Balestri straight through to the World Championship A main.
And Jesse made a kind of tie break between him and JJ, right?
Yeah,
because
JJ
JJ had a not so bueno
No, he needed that last run to make it a good run, and Jesse Davis will be the last car into the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is going to be, that's going to be so thrilling. And him and Simon, Jesse and Simon, man, they are just going to throw care to the wind. They got all day to rebuild the car and put up a new one for tomorrow. So I don't think, I'm really excited to see the Super Bowl shootout. I've never been to one before, and I've watched it live online here on Live RC. Of course, we had it 12 months ago with the 200mm Nitro Touring Car World Championships at Homestead, Miami. 12 months ago, where Naoto Matsukura won his World Championship for Team Infinity, and is here this week. He's in the Super Bowl and will be fighting it out from 12:30 local time today. But we still have a few heats to run yet here in round 6 of qualifying for the 2019 IFMAR World Championships for Nitro On-Road 8 scale. We're on track with Group 4.
3 minutes to go in this one. A big shout out to Jesse Granat and Marcus Struley online. How you doing, Marcus? Hope you're doing well. Been a long time. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on liverc.com, presented by the fine folks at Infinity. It has been a fantastic week so far. A little bit windy, but still fantastic. Sun is shining. No wind today. Tomorrow's looking to be just like this, maybe a tick hotter. But we're looking forward to bringing you guys and girls from around the world best coverage of RC anywhere in the world here on liverc.com.
That's what it's all about here, broadcasting on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on ifmar.liverc.com, where you can find all your race results, live timing, live video, and live chat. If you want to have a chat to us here, send us a message, have a shout out, talk about your favorite drivers, join in the conversation. You can go to any of those destinations, and we'll be seeing your chat here from inside the Infinity Broadcast Studio as we are working through 1 minute 45 to go here in Group 4. Robert Morris on top, looking at going 51st for the round.
It'd be a 16.4.13, one of Robert's best runs so far. Chuck Moon with a 15.6 last lap. Walla Walker a 16.1. I look over here at the chat again. A couple more good friends. Philip Marzinger, how you doing, Philip? Good to have you follow along. Chris Stanley enjoying the coverage. Thank you. Simon SG, I'm thinking maybe Simon from Singapore, maybe. Glad you enjoyed the Gil Losi interview. Yeah, it was good to see him, catch up with him. I think Joel the Magic Man Johnson from AK also might be making a showing today or tomorrow, so we'll definitely have a chance to get with him. I think the most crowned and greatest U.S. national champion in our world of racing. I think he has, if I had to guess, 32 national titles.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. I'm old and I forget, but I'm going 31 or 32. I could be wrong. I normally am. But good to have you following along. Glad you're enjoying it. Tyree's back online. How you doing, Tyree Phillips? He's a long time on-road 8 scale, 12 scale, all the good old days, man. I'm working on this big race. I'm involved in the Cleveland. It's the longest running race now in our world of racing, entering its 40th year, possibly 41, depending how you look at it. And then Tyree used to race a long time there. And back in the day, I got some old pictures of him with a big old fro back in the day when he was the man in 12 scale.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Tyree was one of the tops in the country for sure, always going there and having a big good time. Oh, man, I heard it. Do you hear it?
Yeah, we heard it.
We heard it outside the Infinity.
Right next to our broadcast studio as well.
I saw it a little bit off camera there, just to the edge. We saw a car spin out there in the dots, and that Wallace double right and straight line. He's still trying to collect it over there.
Oh, man.
Oh, another crash. See what, they're going to make him go back. Yeah, there's ain't no cutting the track at IFMAR Worlds. They will, even though you wait or whatever, scale. If the referee's on it, they'll give you stop and go for sure.
Wow. Good to see that the race officials are on top of it here, keeping everyone in line and in order. And Robert Morris gets a win here out of Chuck Moon in second, Wallow Walker in third. Constantino Saratsaklis here in the fourth spot from Arnaud Battistini, rounding out your 5. Morris's time, 16:4:13:065, going to be good enough to go P50 in the final round of qualifying, round 6 here from Steel City RC Speedway. So we have an Infinity instant replay. Checking this out here. This is, that looks already, looks
here's it goes right in.
Oh, that outside wall.
Boom.
Hit the next wall straight across. Oh, man. Lucky there was no cars on coming in that area, coming out of the carousel at that point.
And I think he was done already, so looks like everybody...
lucky.
Yeah, lucky for sure. Another great shot there of the driver's stand here at the World Championships. And a big tip of the hat to everybody here at Steel City Raceway for all their hard work, and to the track sponsors, Infinity, Hot Race, Wallace Motorsports, Good Wine Glass, Absolute Hobbies, KO Propo, VP Racing.
RCI here with Savox, Protoform, Mugen Pole Position RC Club, FG Supply, RacersRC.com, and Sanwa.
Those are the track sponsors that make it possible here on LiveRC.com. We want to give another props and big shout out to the gang at Infinity for broadcast sponsor here, providing everything that you guys are enjoying from around the world. Tony Phelan, Mr. Competition X, how you doing? Good to have you follow along. Chris Stanley. Ebby, is that Ebby from Germany? I don't know. Mark Dawson. Truly one of the best presentations for race today. Thank you very much. We everybody here involved with the Worlds appreciate that, Mr. Mark Dawson. Glad you are enjoying the show. What do we got? 2 left there, partner?
Yeah, we got a couple left here. We're into 11 on track now, so 2 races left to go to round out qualifying round 6 and finishes off here before we have a bit of a break and we get into Super Pole Shootout. A very exciting format that runs here as part of an 8-scale Nitro On-Road World Championships. We take qualified drivers 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Put them on the track, a short warm-up, 6 laps to set their fastest, and they will go all out. You think the lap times we've seen here so far are fast? They're going to go even quicker with care thrown out the window. They're going to be absolute balls to the wall trying to set that hot lap.
Wow, he went there. He absolutely went there and said it. Hey, it's on the internet. You can say it, right?
That's right.
Okay. So, do
Brandon's
you think
not listening, so.
we're going to yeah, the boss ain't listening right now, so. Yeah, so do you think we're going to see that 14-2 lap that we called out earlier?
I will put it out there. Super Pole time will be 14.30 or lower.
14.30.
Or lower.
Or no, you can't. You can't say lower. Yeah, it's
going to be quicker than
it's going to be 14.9 or lower. That's
they're going to be on fresh tires under the IFMAR rules. They're either going to be on the tires they just ran in that qualifier, or IFMAR may make them go on fresh tires. We don't know here. They reserve the right to make that call without cause or prior information as well. It's
we should
have really hard to check.
We should have technically a half hour. The final heat's supposed to roll off at noon.
We're going to have pretty much half an hour before we get started.
So good deal. So we'll find out. I'll go talk to Sandra de Graaf, the lead race official here, and find out exactly what the plan is, if they have to go on new tires or exactly the full format of it. But it's going to be exciting for sure. And, all you got to do is 1 lap. Just one.
It's one.
Just a simple thing.
Yeah.
1 lap.
And I'm going to say that 1 lap, probably going to be lap 6.
Lap 6.
Especially
the final lap.
No matter whether they've taken the old tires from round 6 of qualifying or whether they put new tires on, if they're using their old tires, that time is going to be 14.2.
14. Oh, you said 14.30.
Yeah, if they're
so
on.
I got to go 14.2999 or lower. Philip's asking what time Super Pole. So what are we? We're about 45 minutes from now, Philip.
Yeah, 12:30 is
right.
when it's meant to start.
Don Who, how you doing? How you doing, Abby? Good to have Eberhard Beck online from Germany. Hope you guys are doing well. Miss seeing you guys. Hope you'll be able to run a couple of EOSs with us next year when we get the EOS rolling again next year over in Europe. Jay Hunt's got it there. Yep, 12:30 our time, Pacific Standard Time. As these guys roll out of the pits to begin their qualifying round number 6.
This is Group 5 here with KJ Jones, with Jason Smith, Taylor Elias, Mike McBride, Jay Blanc, Dana Smeltzer, Juan Herrero, Augusto Quinteros, Eugene Osborne, and Alain Levy. All in here racing in Group 5. And out here for qualifying round 6, Quinteros to the top with a hot first lap here. 15.858 to start things off. Trying to chase down a top 50 for the round so far.
That'd be me. I'd be happy. You go to the Worlds and you qualify in top 50.
You go top half?
Yeah,
Happy.
exactly, for sure. That's
I never made top 50.
No?
52nd.
That's because you got yelled at in Shaman, right? Yeah, exactly.
Got yelled at by some guy sitting next to me with a headset on.
Yeah. Scotty Ernst, the race director, was yelling at him. And not yelling at him. I don't think I've ever yelled at anybody.
I got told off.
Yeah, told off, okay. I don't know what's better, be told off or yelled at.
I didn't get an official warning, though, so I got away. I got away clean.
Good. Then you can't hold that against me. All right, we got Augusto out front. Another good lap there, 15.4. So we got back-to-back hot laps there. KJ Jones, 15.6. KJ, I really thought he'd be a bit quicker. I pinned him in the top 30 overall is what I had KJ this weekend. Every time I've seen him run, he's always so quick. Just, I don't know, missing just that little this weekend. He's, like I said, figured he'd be in top 30.
Well, the best KJ's had so far, showing 63rd overall, counting 3 of 5 he's completed. His best has been a 46th. Would need to go a little bit quicker at the moment. He's showing 49th here in the round on predictive time so far, as we're just about to cross the halfway point. Quinteros is your leader, about to go P47 for the round, as Jason Smith goes 3rd here in the heat so far, showing P55 in the round. It's good to have this mix-up, actually, because we get drivers later in the round going down the order instead of just constantly going to the new top of the round.
Exactly. Really kind of shows us where these guys are going to be overall in the ranking of the round, rather than, as you say, moving always to the top and then the faster guys just bump them all the way down. So Quinteros got the fast lap of 15.4. We got about a minute 30 to go in this one. KJ Jones now getting his fastest lap there on lap 8 with a 15.4. And Mike McBride with a 15.7.
Man, I say that name too much.
Well, yeah, from Australia, name. Kyle McBride. How many time Australian national champions name? Like 22 or 10 or something like that?
10 years in a row for 8-scale off-road right now. Is on his way to making 11. He didn't win the National Series just gone, though. National Series just wrapped up. Didn't go to round 3.
And it's no throwouts?
I don't think it's a throwout, no, for the series.
Oh, so we
have, it's a bit silly in Australia. We have the Nationals, the National, and then we have the series. And the series has made up the first round. He's the Nationals, and he's won that 10 years in a row.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. Dan the Man asking online how many entries in total. It rounded out to about 115 in total.
I think that's what it was. If we look at the qualifying list to see how many guys have posted a time, we scroll all the way down. We got 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that guy.
112.
112 total.
Not bad. Really solid showing for Nitro on-road racing.
I see track racing. That's what the official IFMAR name is in this one. KJ Jones still at the top of the board. KJ looking to go 47th right now overall with a 16.409. Dana Smeltzer, a 16.2 lap. Dana's time right now looking to go 16.414. Alain Levy, he is looking to go 16.415. Dana Smeltzer now up a spot to still a 4.14. 14 rather. Elaine Jason Smith, 16.0 last lap.
We follow KJ around what is going to be his final lap here through the hot race chicane and into the front kink. Rocking the all white, did away with the pro paint, the war paint from yesterday. He was running that beautiful green body shell, but throws on the factory white and comes across the line to finish off a 15.371 on what was his 5th final lap here, lap 11 of his run. 63 miles an hour across the speed trap there, Scotty.
That is crazy fast. Now we got the fastest times we're seeing here on the speed trap. That is working. We're going to bring you a whole bunch of data, especially coming to the finals here, where we got pit stop time, we got sector 1 and 2, the speed trap, everything. Just trying to bring you as much data as we can using live time scoring and everything here on liverc.com, presented by Infinity.
So finishing off here with what was Group 5, we're into the final heat in the round for qualifying round 6. Round 6 finished off with Heat 6 here. Ralph Burch going to come out. Final opportunity.
All right, Ralph, come on.
World champion to get something done.
He needs it, has to have it, something to give him a bit of hope. He's had tough luck, driving mistakes, beyond tough luck, bad luck, no luck.
How many more times do you want to describe it here?
I don't know. I would think probably had problems with his dinner when he ordered dinner last night, because with the luck he's having, it's not been good.
Man, oh man. Burch's best result so far, a 41st in round 5 earlier today. That was a 16.408.9. If he wants to pick up the pace and go to the top here, he's going to have to best his competitors in this heat. Melvin Alston with Ralph there, Alex Frank, Chris Moreno, David Blakeney, Jose Casas, Kenji Tyra out here with the Infinity car, Edgar Fialis, Ricky West and Blake Bell all rolling out for their warm-up. They get a 3-minute warm-up and a 4-minute heat race. This will be the last race in the round here for qualifying round 6. To wrap up qualifying will be officially in the books for the 2019 IFMAR World Championships here at Steel City RC Speedway, presented by Infinity.
Then the page turns in the book, and then time to get down to some serious business.
Oh yeah, Super Pole time.
Exactly.
I am super excited for Super Pole.
He is super excited for Super Pole to be super fast and super exciting.
I'm going to see a super broken car, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone's going to do it.
Right?
Someone's going to bin it.
Somebody's going to bin it. That's my Australian.
Well, you guys, what did Matt Olson call it? A yard sale.
Yard sale,
yeah,
exactly.
Yard sale.
You just yard sale it. Just boom. Just go for it. Don't care. Whatever. Just get rid of it. Yard sale. Boom. Just put it out on the lawn and get rid of it.
You'll be selling individual parts and pieces on the bench top.
Exactly. So we're going to have the Super Pole tell you coming in probably about 45, maybe less than that. They say 12:30 is supposed to roll. As soon as this race is over, I'm going to run over and talk to Sandra DeGraff and try to get exactly what the laydown is. Like Chris mentioned earlier, if they're going to run new tires or old tires or whatever kind of tires, it's going to be interesting and find out exactly how much warm-up each driver is going to get, how they're going to do it. Is it going to be before each run, as a group run for the practice, or what they're going to do? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yes, Chris Matheny, the WG, the world's greatest Ralph Burch, he is definitely due for a run. Hopefully he can throw down a 17 here. Ken Miller, how you doing, Ken? Good to have you following on. There's a lot of Ken Millers in the world. Is this the Ken Miller I know? Hi, Ken. Might be. From the Midwest, from the greater Ohio area. Works in the Great Lakes Series in the Indoor Champ. Is that Ken Miller?
I'm just looking at the times from round 6 here, Scotty. If Burch can pull off a 17 lap, be top 25. It's a lot higher than he's run so far.
Yeah, he's sitting 59th. That's not even in the top 50 right now.
No, not even in the top 50. I mean, if he can pull off another 16.408 here, a 408 in this round is going to put him 44th. You know, anything sub 408 will be 44th. Michael Salvin currently on a 407.3. That's 43rd for the round here. So Burch's best run in the weekend came from round 5 earlier today. He was 41st with a 4:08, but to get that again, he's going to have to go better than a 4:05.
I'm calling 4:05 for Ralph.
4:05.
4:05. Come on, Ralph. I hope I just didn't jinx you. What's up, Ken Miller? How you doing? That's the Ken Miller I know. Good to have you following along here from sunny California. 2019 IFMAR IC Track / Nitro On-Road World Championships from Steel City RC. Coverage here on liverc.com, presented by Infinity. And they're releasing the hounds. Chris, final heat of qualifying for the Worlds is underway.
It's on like Donkey Kong. We are racing here in qualifying round 6, Group 6 on track. We're going to start things off. We are going to follow along with this easily recognizable blue and yellow of Blake Bell, the Canadian X-Ray driver. Across the line, start things off. His first flying lap of 16.4. Not going to be good enough. Getting knocked down to 5th, 6th, and beyond as Chris Moreno. Ralph Burch to the top with a 15.3 to start things off.
Blake Bell is a great guy. His pitman is Luke, the Pitman.
Oh, Luke bailed me up yesterday.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. He came running out of the pit lane. I've been very honored with a couple of people coming running up to me this weekend. And Luke Pittman ran up to me and said, "I have to meet you. You're the Aussie guy." And, yeah, shook my hand. And I got little baby hands, and he made me look like a dwarf.
Wow. You're a fan of Luke the Pitman. He's the mechanic for Blake Bell. All right, back to the action here. 15.4 from Melvin. Melvin ran strong in the first couple rounds of qualifying. Ralph Burch at 15.3. What did we say? I said he was going to get a 4:05. Ralph's on a 16.405. Come on, Ralph. You can do it.
A good one here for Burch will help him in his final qualifying, but Melvin Alston goes to the top. Ooh, it's tight with 3 cars coming onto the back straight. And whoever that was in the what do you call it, the bleh car.
The bleh, exactly.
Made it through those 2 cars in 2 corners. That was a great run there. As Chris Moreno now goes to the top. Alston down to 2. Ralph Burch losing time down to the 3. He's looking at a 4:07. Gonna put pace here for Ralph.
Jay Hunt, don't say it's me. Don't tell Ralph that it's because I picked him. No. Shh, secret. Just you and I know that. Chris Verano, 15.2 lap, puts Chris to the top of the board on a 16.406. Melvin on a 406. Ralph on a 407. Alex Frank now moving up to the 4th spot there with a 409. Jose moving up to, Jose takes it back to a 16.409.
We're following along Melvin Alston here in the 1 car. The bright red machine just threading the needle between a couple of cars. Ooh, catching the rumble strip on the inside of the Infinity Carousel. Almost ran into the front end of the car behind him here. He's running with Alex Frank right up his back. And oh, he's all sorts of wrong through the hot race chicane. He's getting nervous with some other cars around him here and making some really big mistakes. He's keeping it foam side down though. Alston down the line, a 15.111 on lap 6. He's lapping 15.4s at the moment. He's gone down to the 2nd spot now.
Edgar Fialos out there with a 15.5. Edgar asked him what happened in the earlier qualifier. Said his engine broke during warm-up, so he couldn't make it. Edgar running under the Ecuador flag. He's a SoCal local from down here, but he's running under the Ecuador flag.
Okay. Oh, man, another car getting caught up there at the Wallace double right. I think that was Moreno, or it might not have been. Burch coming across the line back to 2nd. Alston now with the 15.078 goes back to the top. I believe we follow along Ralph Burch here with the factory white.
Come on, Ralph. 4:06 to 4:05 is there. You can do it.
Coming up on it here as Alston leads away across the line here. We follow Alston right there. Burch just in front of him on the road as they come up through the front kink. Big touch of the curb there from Burch. Trying to shorten the racetrack as much as possible. Onto the back straight. 20 seconds left to go in this qualifier. The final qualifying heat in the final qualifying round here at the IFMAR World Championships. Up and all over the back end of this bright orange car.
Ralph Burch stepping it up. Yeah, 14.9 the WG. He's making it happen. He's got just a couple laps to go, and he's on a 4:05.7 right. Oh! 15.3 that lap for Ralph Melvin, a 15.0. I didn't say he had to win. I just said he had to get a 4:05.
Just needs a 4:05. He's on for a 5 with a 7 at the moment. He's going to start his final lap here. One to go, and he's gone back to the top with a 15.1.
This would break the curse. This would break the curse. Can Ralph do it? Come on, Ralph. You can do it.
Ralph Burch, former IFMAR world champion. Oh, someone stopping, running out of fuel on the back straight, but Burch gets through clean. Backs it up a 15.096, and he goes a 4:05 with a 2.
Boom! Yes, called it. Okay, Jay Hunt, the curse is broken. Woo! Woo! Ralph Burch finally to the top of the board with a 16.405. A very good run there for your 2010 200-millimeter world champion.
How about it? He goes to the top with a hot lap of the race as well, a 14.973, edging out Melvin Alston, who goes a 4.05 with a 9 to the tune of 0.7 of a second across the line. Alex Frank comes home and leads out a USA trio at the top end. With the third spot for the Infinity driver, he goes a 4.08 with a 9 to go third from Edgar, coming home P4, and Jose Casas P5.
Kenji brings home sixth spot there with a 16.412. Chris Ferrano behind him with a 15. Unfortunately, running out of gas. It was probably him that ran out of gas as we are coming onto the back straightaway. Got a message here from Gene Sears. Am I going to go interview Ben Wallace? Yes, I talked to Ben when I was trying to queue up some interviews there, and I asked him if it'd be cool to take an interview a little bit later. So, yes, I'm going to go have a chat with the former NBA All-Star superstar of the Basketball Association of America. He's way tall, and said he's enjoying racing, enjoying being part of the World Championship. So I'm going to go try to track him down in a little bit. So, Chris, right now, that's a little break for us here. We're going to go try to find out exactly what the Super Pole is going to be like. But, Chris, what are you taking away from qualifying here 6 rounds in the books?
This track, although it looks flat and it looks like it's tameable, it is unpredictable. Traction levels going up and down with temperature. The biggest thing I'm taking away from here, Balestri, when he's under pressure, can pull it out of the bag. That's going to be important to remember when we come to the final. But we haven't seen the full potential of these tires yet. Things are going to change now we get into finals, and we'll be having to keep a real close eye on how those tires behave in the longer run.
Exactly, and it's something to think about is the guys, TQ automatically goes in. Super Pole winner automatically goes in. They only get a 20-minute practice session. The guys in the semis will get 30 minutes on the track. Do you think that extra 10 minutes of wear as the tires wear, is that going to give them guys more knowledge than the top two?
Well, I don't know, Scotty, because they have to start that semi-final on a brand new set of tires. But I don't think the practice session drivers have to run a new set in that 20-minute session. So they might be able to pick a set of qualifying tires that already has 7 to 8 minutes on
Correct.
it and isn't going to be a big difference in wear. They should be able to feel out what the tire's doing over the course of that 20 minutes in that practice session. They'll get a good idea for how much wear they're expecting in the final, formulate their pit stop strategy for the final. Jesse Davis was saying you could potentially go the full hour on a tire, but you're going to lose too much diameter, so you're going to lose too much top-end speed, and the left side is going to wear too hard. So you're going to have a car that's too hard to drive around right-hand corners as hard as you can around left-hand corners. You'll just be flipping coming out of that chicane. The pinnacle there and the hardest part is going to be after the pit stop in the hour-long main at around half an hour, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. The car's going to be on tall tires again. That's when we're going to see mistakes that could really change the landscape of that race.
Absolutely, and that's going to show when the top pros are at the top of their game to be able to compensate, maybe downshift a little bit, only get 90% if they come in for a tire change because they're going to be used to 20 minutes with the tires already cambered in, and they're going to have to go to flat, uncambered tires and everything. It's going to be very interesting. We're looking forward to bringing it to you all here on liverc.com, presented by Infinity. We're going to take a short pause for the cause right now, find out everything about the Super Pole, and we'll be back to bring you this super exciting, as Chris said, he's so excited to get to the exciting Super Pole. We'll bring it to you here in just a few minutes here on liverc.com.
My name is Kenji Taira. I'm from Singapore and I'm the owner of the creation model Infinity. We have established this company about 5 years ago and we are here for 2019 Fontana World Championship to defend our title. Okay, what makes it great about our car is we are Japanese craftsmanship. We won the World Championship in 2017. That is our first World Championship with Dario. And it meant a lot for our company because, we wanted to win so much for the World Championship and it took such a short time for us. And also we are here to defend our title.
Hello, I'm Dario Balestri and I come from Italy and I'm a Korean world champion to this class. I think Infinity actually is the future of this class. First of all, we have the most important drivers in the team, and I'm keep learning to improve the car, to improve myself, and to try to share information with my teammates. This is the most important way to work. Well, I think our car, it's competitive because of the work of all the team, especially for sure the engineering. But anyway, we all the week we send updates and we send feedback. In these days we work a lot. The car, it's amazing in this track. All the package work super good. So the big challenge is don't mistake. This is the way, no other one. I'm Dario Balestri.
You should all buy our car because our car is very easy to set up and it is very easy to drive. It is designed for beginners, and you know it's also been competitive, and it's just overall it's easy in the setup.
Infinity number one.
Second spot's going to be Naoto Matsukura. Third spot's going to be Simon Kurzba. Fourth is going to be Dominic Greiner. And your fifth spot, joining those guys in the Super Pole, will be Jesse Davis. So Super Pole will be Matsukura, Kurzba, Greiner, and Davis. All right, we're going to need Naoto Matsukura, Simon Kurzba, Dominic Greiner, and Jesse Davis to the controlled pit area, please. Need those four guys, all Super Pole contestants, to the controlled pit area. Just for a meeting. Those four guys, all to controlled pit area for a short meeting. Super Pole will start at 12:30. Super Pole will be starting at 12:30. Need those four drivers for Super Pole to meet in the controlled pit area for a short meeting.
the line, so that's fine. As long as you don't go like this. No, like that. Yeah. Because that's the spare. If we give him a bad one, what about? Yes, sir. Separate, good. If not, you just go like that. Place the tire. This. No, no. Okay. Every thingy? No, just that. You see, we have this sets over here, and we have this sets over there. So if they need it, you know when they hit? Yeah. The size of it. Right. You know, for fairness. So, one time.
Got about 10 minutes to Super Bowl, guys. 10 minutes. 5 minutes till Super Pole, 5 minutes. Two minutes till Super Bowl, guys. 2 minutes left. One minute till Super Bowl, guys. 1 minute till you guys' 5-minute warm-up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Infinity Broadcast Studio. We're your hosts, Scotty Ernst and Chris Mitchell here, and we are getting ready for, I don't want to say the most exciting time, but the most exciting time we've seen so far, the Super Bowl.
Exactly. The most exciting moment in the week of IFMAR World Championship competition here so far. Qualifying is in the books. We have one driver going directly into the World Championship A-Main. That is your top qualifier, Dario Balestri. But here in the Super Pole, one more spot up for grabs.
Exactly. So the Super Bowl is a really exciting format that they started a few years ago, and it really gives everybody a last chance. You know, you always worry or hear about the semifinals. Tragedy happens, you know, servo breaking on the warm-up or Marshall messing up your car, something like that. Anything can go wrong in a semi. With the Super Bowl, we take qualifiers 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they get a chance to go out and run 6 laps flat out. The only thing that matters is one single lap. The fastest lap locks you into the championship final.
Absolutely. We have the 4 drivers trying to set their single best lap here. They're all going to get a warm-up together on track. They have been there's a piece in the IFMAR rules that allows them to run either the tires they ran from the last qualifier, or they are instructed to put new tires on. All the drivers have been instructed they must use new tires for this Super Bowl shootout. So they're pulling them out of the packet putting them straight on the car. They're going to get a 5-minute warm-up to go out and try and break those tires in, and then they go driver by driver. What's the rest of the process after that?
They do the 5 minutes. They call all 4 drivers in. Then they'll go from 5th up to 2nd in the qualifying. So Jesse Davis is going to be the first to go out. He's going to go out for 3 minutes, 3-minute warm-up, and then at that 3-minute clock, the pit lane is closed. They cannot go into the pit lane anymore, and then he can go out and do 6 laps. The other guys that are not on track, they're allowed to go back into the warm-up area behind the driver's stand and keep the engines up to temperature. When the next guy comes up, that's going to be Dominic Greiner. Dominic's going to go out for 3 minutes, do his warm-up, and then once that 3-minute clock, he'll go out and do 6 laps. So they each get 5 minutes at the start all together, and then 3 minutes before their run to try to do just 1 fast lap.
Now, with the opportunity to set a Super Pole time here, Scotty, it's different from qualifying. You don't have to keep the car together for a 4-minute qualifier and literally keep the car together is the operative statement here.
One guy comes to mind when we say that statement. We both know him well. You know him better than I do, but yeah, Jesse Davis, he goes out first, which can be an advantage or disadvantage depending how you look at it. You know, normally you want to go out last so you see what to beat, but Jesse Davis has nothing to lose. He's locked in the semi right now, and he has to absolutely go for it and just leave Carter to win.
Well, the same statement is true for the other 3 drivers as well. They have enough time if they bin the car and they make a mistake, flip the car, break something off during their Super Pole attempt, they have enough time to rebuild the car and just go again in the semi-finals. But here, there's nothing to lose and all of that to gain. If they do win this Super Pole with the single fastest lap, they will go straight through to start 2nd on the grid for the World Championship AMA. And it's all on the line to play for here at the IFMAR World Championships. And it comes down to the very smallest, 14.5 seconds. Not even that of what is going to count here to get into that AMA.
Maybe 14.3, 14.2. But if you look at the other guys, Simon, we talked to Simon Kirschberg's always a quick race. We talked to Dominic Greiner earlier. He said he's not a Super Pole kind of guy. He's just a steady, not doing hot laps, just doing consistent. So he's like, he even said to us, you know, he doesn't have much of a chance for Super Pole. But the last guy to go out, no automats occur. And for some of you folks that don't follow electric 12-scale racing,